Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are working on our GUI framework, and today's topic is trying to implement some form of like scroll area. Because sometimes we might want to put a bunch of text somewhere, or like maybe more widgets that fit in one small section of the screen, and like you gotta scroll, right? So that's what we're doing. This is the current state. So we have, some text rendering. We have some buttons that can change the text on them. We have like a draggable float value, right? And we have like, we can press a button and look, we change some state somewhere and that shows up in a different label. Wow, right? The way that we have this whole thing set up is there's kind of like a widget generation stage. So like at the beginning of this like demo, we go, oh, okay, let's make a button for every like each element in our app that has like a boolean. Let's make a couple like float draggers for each float that's in there, and then let's make a label and a button for like this like counter, right? And we don't like throw out that layout every frame like you would in a normal immediate mode GUI, but we're also not really like treating this like a typical Qt or GTK widget hierarchy either. We kind of like pass in some like function callbacks or some like functions, I guess, objects that the widgets can like call to like retrieve state from the app, and then we still do layout every frame, like you would in an immediate mode GUI, except the widget state is like preserved so that we can do things like this, where the float, we need to like write down what the initial value was when we started the drag, and then compare like so that we can like increment that by however far the mouse has moved from where we clicked, right? And I think that like typical immediate mode GUIs kind of cheat in this regard, and they stash values long term. We don't do that. The other thing that's like a little bit different is that our values for things, they are kind of like pulled from like some state every frame, but they are meant to be read only. So when I press this button, it generates like a UI action, which is just like a enum of a bunch of stuff. So let's see if we can find it. UI action, right? So this generates like a thing, and then our application knows how to process these things, right? So we just have it like at the bottom of our loop. We go like, oh, okay, if they ask us to change the float value, we will change the float value, and if they increment the counter, we'll increment the counter, right? Which kind of like lines up with how I use these immediate mode GUI frameworks usually anyways, blah, blah, blah. But that's enough background. Let's go into doing some stuff. Let's implement some features, So I think the first thing that we have to do is get a big chunk of text. And everybody uses this like lorem ipsum thing. I've seen this like so many times in my life. Where do I like get this thing? Right, I've seen this like in every widget thing ever. Is there like a I just want like, I just need a big paragraph, Generate lorem ipsum text. Paragraphs. Yeah, sure. Give me 5 paragraphs. I don't give a shit. I don't know. And I guess we'll put this in lorem ipsum. Paste? No. Copy. Paste. There we go. Dude, these aren't words. We won't think about it. Is this even like a real thing? Let's not think about it. We won't think about it. We'll just we just need some text. In our demo, we will then just try to construct a label out of that text. So can we just be like, whoop, make me a label, and just slap some text in there. So we just be like, embed file res lorem ipsum. And I think that should do what we want. For those of you who have been following along, I changed the label thing a little bit off stream. Before we passed in this like retrieval object, right? So like, for example, here, when we make a label that wants to like extract the counter text, this will like we pass in some object that has like a get text method, and he will be like, I pressed the buffer or I pressed the button this many times. Wow. But we can now also pass in just like a string, which is kind of fun. I added this like, look, meta programming. Wow. So I like, well, if it's a struct and has get text, use that. Well, otherwise, if it's a pointer and it's a slice and it's a U8 slice, like use that. Or if it's like a array and the array is of U8s, like use that, which is pretty sick. Pretty sick. So now I can just do like this embed file, and I'm pretty sure this will work. Pretty sure. Okay, so this is working, except it's all on one line, which is really suboptimal. So I think we need to do some form of text wrapping, which we don't really do right now at all, but we should do that. So let's do that. I think that maybe having a chapter that's 3 minutes long is like not really worth it, but it is technically a new distinct thing. Okay, so our text renderer has this like layout text function, and all he does right now is he basically says text comes like relative to some baseline. Each glyph for a character, so he iterates like character by character, completely ignoring like UTF-8 or anything. He assumes that every byte is a valid character, which is a bad assumption, but we're using it for now. He goes and he says like, okay, so the letter A is supposed to like kind of render like this, and the letter G is supposed to render like this, and like, you know, he just kind of like walks this line and puts glyphs where they ask to go, essentially. There's like this like concept of like an advance width, so every time you like ask a character where to lay out, he's gonna be like, okay, go this far into the future after we do that. So I think all we have to do is basically like special case word boundaries, right? And basically discard any layout that we did after a, like, if a word goes past the end of a line, just like discard that shit. Then I guess if it's still too, then like move the cursor down, right? We'll move the baseline down a little bit vertically, and then if the word is still too long, we might need to hyphenate. But I think that we can probably just not handle that case for now. We'll just be like, if the word's too long, like fuck it, let it run over. That'll be our fix for now, because that's the easiest step one that we can do. So I guess here we're going to have some sort of like word cache. Let's think about this. We could either pop the layout after. Yeah, we could like put the stuff into like the layout and then pop it if we find that it doesn't work. Or we can put it somewhere temporary and then copy it in. I think that we just pop it out. I think that makes sense. So we'll say like word start is 0 usize. And then instead of doing a for loop here, we're gonna have to do a while loop. So C character index is equal to 0. Because we're gonna want to be able to like go back in time when we find that we didn't like the word, right? So we'll be like, while C IDX is less than text len, then we say const C is the text at C index. Okay. Now what? Defer C IDX plus equals 1. And I guess we do something that's like, do we want to do like a state machine? Does that make sense? We have like our current state is like between words or inward, and then when we transition from between words to inward, then we do something. That seems reasonable. Sure. So this will be like inward, between word. I guess that's kind of it. Var layout state is equal to, is a layout state is equal to between word. If now we say like, if stood ASCII is white space. Yep. So I guess we're looking for, if we are in the state inward and this is white space, then we move to between word. That seems reasonable. And if we're between word, yeah, I guess we'll say else if layout state is equal to between word, and we are not white space, then we go to inward. Cool. And then when we move to the inward state, we say word start is equal to C IDX. Okay. That seems reasonable. So now we can do something and we go like, if we hit the end of the line, so here, I guess we say like if, ooh, we're gonna have to roll back this stuff as well. We keep track of kind of like the bounds of our, how do I say this? The bounds of our like laid out text, right? So like if we have the text like A, B, C, G, right? We kind of like write down like this box essentially. And so I guess like if every single element in our text is like above the line, and then we have a new word that all goes below the line, and this goes like past the edge, right? We kind of want to like clamp the box to this after, which is kind of weird. But fine. It's fine. We just gotta fix that somehow. So how do we do that? Do we? Yeah, we should. So let's just say that we have some sort of like layout box. How differ works in Zig. He work in current scope while loop close or like going func scope. Like block scope. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure. Okay. So I guess you could stick it in here, really. If we want to get crazy, right? We could do this. But I'm not going to. We'll just say that the like layout box is struct and he's got like a min. What was our types here? I32s. Okay. Boom. And then that way we can see like layout word start is a layout box is equal to current layout box. I don't know. And then here we replace all of this stuff with a layout box. And here we can kind of put these all to 0. Seems reasonable. Then down here, we'll just say layout box dot on all of these things. And then here, we also say the parent. Boom. Okay. So then we do the same shit here. We have like layout at the word start is equal to layout box. Okay. And then we should just be able to like roll this shit back. So, yeah, these aren't used. That's true. Get rid of these bad boys. So how does that work? If, I guess that means we need like some sort of like available width here, right? That's the play. For now, let's just hard code it so we don't have to like fix like colors of this thing. We'll just say like our available width is some amount of pixels. So what's like a reasonable number of pixels? Like 400. If we are above available width, we say C IDX equal to word start. I guess that means that we won't defer this here. We'll kind of just do this at the end of the loop. We only increment if we succeed. Otherwise, we go back to the word start. And we say we have to like pop everything that we had in here that we didn't like. So glyphs pop resize reduce. Well, it's like, does resize have like a special case where, oh, that's fine. Yeah, we can just resize. So here we're going to be like C IDX minus word start, undo everything we did before. And then layout box is equal to layout word start. Okay, and then we have to increment y. So we have some sort of like cursor here in f units, I think. So here we'll just be like, this is now the f unit cursor x. This is now y. Somewhere we have to use that. So presumably it's like, where do we use the cursor x here? x1 here, x2. Okay. Then y1 and y2 are derived from the header directly. Yeah, so you do like y1 is equal to the y min plus f unit cursor y. Okay, so now we have like some place that we're relative to. And then I guess we do the same thing here for y2 is y1 plus the y max minus the y min. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. So this is y1 and y2 minus y1, I guess. Probably is what makes sense here. Sure. So first of all, I guess here we have to do f unit cursor y plus equals, I think it's like ttf mod line height. And I hope that this is, I don't know what unit this is in. Is this in f units? Yeah, f units. Okay, so that's chillin'. And I guess we do like f unit cursor x equals 0. All right. I mean, that's like a maybe. Fuck. Area unit is ignored at 126. True. Somehow we I guess we'll just try here. This should like never fucking happen, right? Because like for this resize to fail, we'd have to somehow be going up in size, and we'd have to run out of memory. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So it looks like we are just hot looping. I hope we are not also just cranking memory. It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're just hot looping. Okay. So we're idiots. What do we do wrong? Okay, backtrace. So actually, I guess it probably this is probably easier to diagnose with logs. Okay, so let's start with. Well, I guess let's see what we're hot looping on. We're gonna hope that it's the lorem ipsum text, right? So we're at late frame 3, p text. Hello world. Okay, so that's unexpected. I did not expect hello world to fall the fuck over. Right, so what is going on here? Can we say maybe std debug print word starting at the here is too large. It could be that we're just like, it could be that we picked a size that's smaller than the first word, and so we're just like hot looping on that. That would make sense. So here we need like a special case here where we're gonna say like x2 is less than this and x1 is not equal to 0. Sorry, and what's the right thing here? And the like layout box, no, the f unit cursor x is not equal to 0. There we go. Too few arguments. Fine. So let's see if that fixes it. It might. Okay. So surprisingly, we are not somehow we're not doing what I thought. So okay, what's going on here? Okay, why are we back here? Oh, I see. There's a when we hit the space, I missed this or else continue here. So that's why it's kind of nice to do a defer index plus equals 1 so that I don't make this mistake. Because a space has no glyph size. So he was like, okay, just move on to the next character. But then we were like, uh-oh, doesn't work. See, now the problem here is that if we can't, I guess we're guaranteed here that we will be past 0. Yeah, I think that's true. This is a problem too, because like in the case where in the case where we reset the line, we don't want to then do this. Ugh. So we could do something that's like, we could like guard this stuff with like a success, like layout success or something, right? But that's kind of gross. I don't really like that. So also, this isn't guaranteed. No, yeah, we do need to do it this way. We do need it this way. Fuck. Okay, so C IDX plus equals 1 goes here. We have to be careful with continues, which is only this one. So it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of not the best. And is there anything else we have to do here? We have to fix this. So I guess this just also goes down here. Sure. Sure. Let's see it. Run. All right. So we have a problem where what? There's a few things. One here, we need to advance the cursor here. Okay, so that should fix the problem where spaces aren't showing up anymore. Okay, good. Now, I don't understand what's happening here at all. It could be that we are maybe going back too far here. It's definitely like something when we're wrapping words is doing something dumb, right? Obviously. Obviously. So we take the F unit cursor Y plus Y min. Oh, are we advancing the Y cursor? We are here. Okay. Maybe we should take a little peek skis at the laid out text in our demo. So here can be like, where is this thing getting called? Make buffer from text here, I guess. Make buffer from text. Text buffer here. Laid out text is here. Here we go. Text layout is text layout. All right, let's just kind of see what that gives us. Okay, so this would be this one, right? We do have min max here. Min, this is a big fucking buffer. Right, so we are staying within our 400 pixel bounds, and we have seen a pretty large, like 1,000 pixel Y range. So then the question is why are we not seeing that in here, right? Glyphs seems pretty short, right? So I suspect that we are like maybe popping too many glyphs. Oh. We're resizing. This is pretty funny. So we are resizing to 0 every time. Oops. Okay. So we could try that. We do now have like multiple lines, but it's still not great. I'd like to confirm that we are resizing to the right size. We could be off by one here. We could be. If the word start is our current index, then we would resize to 0. Yeah, that's a problem. I think we just want to resize to word start, actually, right? But we don't necessarily... Word start is an index here? But the glyph's length is not the same, because the glyph's length does not necessarily contain every character, right? Like a space is not a glyph. So here I think we want to probably stash like the glyph word start glyphs len. I think this is the easiest thing to do. And then we say word starts glyph len is equal to glyphs items len. And then we resize just to word start glyphs len like this. It's probably the most reasonable thing to do. What is going on? We're laying out some text. Trying to do some word wrapping. Oh. Okay. I think that I think we're going the wrong way. Right? So I think we're going from the bottom, lorem ipsum, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if like that matches what's in the text. GUI source, GUI res lorem. Okay. So yeah, this looks like it's got the right characters in there. Right? So like we have like this guy here is this down here, and then we have like this is the next word. So I think that's doing okay. However, we're going the wrong way. So I think we just want like f unit cursor y minus equals here instead. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yeah. There are a couple boxes in there, that's true. What is going on there? Oh, it's probably new lines. I think it's new lines. So we have to check for that as well. Stood ASCII is white space. How do we do this? So if there is no glyph for this thing, or okay, hold on. If we'll say this is header opt. If header opt is equal to null, or ASCII is white space. Okay. That should remove the boxes, but it will not correctly lay us out, right? So now the double boxes around that space, they should go away, right? Wherever the fuck that was here, right? But we have a problem still where it's weird that they have the space is still there. I wouldn't have expected that. Oh, I guess because the advanced width is still there. Okay, sure. I guess we need to handle those things specially, right? So we should say like, okay, is there a way to like factor out this like this logic? It's probably pretty unique actually. Okay, so you say like, if C is equal to new line for now, we'll just hard code it. C idx plus equals 1 for sure. Continue for sure. And then f unit cursor y minus equals ttf mod line height. Okay. I guess technically we could stash that up here instead of recalculating it every time. line height here and here. Boom, boom. Is there anything else we need to account for? Tabs probably we need to do at some point. But I don't have to think about that right now. We do not have to think about that right now. Okay, so here we also we forgot to reset the X cursor, which seems like something that should split out. Likely this will eventually turn into some sort of like struct with state machine, but that's good enough for now, for sure. For sure, good enough. Okay, let's pretend that we have some form of text wrapping complete, and let's try to get into a scroll bar. Okay. Maybe we'll do a little git status, git add -u, git commit -m, text wrapping with big text now, man. Okay. Let's make a scroll view. So I haven't really thought about this much, but presumably the scroll view is going to take in a bunch of widgets. Wait, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. This is a lie. We need to ask the text layout to wrap at a certain width. Wrap width, and we'll just say this is in pixels, and we will give a U32 here, I guess. Sure. And now callers of this guy need to specify a wrap width. So in our application, when we're generating images, I guess we will just write std math max int U32. Is C IDX the column? It's the character index in the string. It's the character index in the string. Available width here needs to turn into wrap width pix. Okay, and then when we do layout text here, good evening, good evening. It's in the label. Here we need to specify somehow the wrap width. So our label surely has no idea about what like the total size is. I guess he probably should, huh? We should probably tell him. So maybe in like the layout area, every frame, I guess we pass in the available size here, which means that this guy needs an available size. What type is this gonna be? I guess like a pixel size? Sure. Which means that our update function needs to have a available size here. Okay, that seems reasonable. Seems reasonable to me. We need to like calculate the available size here. So how do we determine that? I guess we must take into account the window size in some way, shape, or form. Do we write that down anywhere? No. So this is gonna have to come in as well as a pixel size. Okay. And this is gonna return a new pixel size. And we're just gonna take like the window size width minus cursor x. Sure. This seems reasonable so far. And the height is going to be like the window size height minus our cursor y. Sure. Okay. So now here we just calculate like update here needs the window size. I guess this is actually technically like we could like nest layouts here. So that might come into play here. But we'll see. Height without scrolling. I think that we will tell widgets about the window size, and then when we're in the scroll view, we'll just lie, and we'll just make it like fucking infinite. I think that's what we'll do. So self-available size with window size here. Okay, cool. That seems reasonable. Seems pretty reasonable. So when we call update here, we have to pass in the window size now, which is just like width is equal to width, and height is equal to height. All right, seems reasonable. These probably have to be in cast. Okay. And so now we just have to update the function signatures of everybody who implements an update function. So this is in label zig here. I guess we want pixel available size is a pixel size. Okay, and then here when we do make buffer from text, we call available size dot width here, I guess. And then here we have our wrap width as a U32. And here we say wrap width. Boom, we got there. Presumably there is more here at 55. We need to do a wrap width here as well. So here we will pass in available size width. And then on init, we take in an available size. This makes sense. Okay. Which I'm sure will have all sorts of implications. Label.zig 144. Right. So this one we call make label. This guy also needs to take in an available size. Here, and then he passes them on. Okay. And then surely everybody who calls that's going to get mad. So here, I guess we just call like layout.available size. That's why I did it this way. And then that means that this needs the window size passed in here. I guess. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense. Okay. I'm sure that there's gonna be more people yelling. 399. Here, was it before or after? We did it before. Do we have a width and height? So we use the initial window width and height. I guess. All right. And then window size here is going to be like this so that we can reuse it down below where this is called again. Here. So then somewhere, oh no, we only call it once. We only lay out one time now. Okay, sure. We have the same problem here where the buttons need to give like a wrap width. I guess the button wrap width though is going to come from the button size, not the window size. So I guess we just kind of do okay, so in the case where our button is trying to derive its size from the window, from the label, I'm just gonna use good math. Max in here. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Okay. Wrong side. It's here. Okay. The fuck? Oh, this wants like the full width. Which is silly. We only care about the wrap width here, so let's just call this wrap width. We do not care about the height right now. We can't care about the height. So here we're just like, whoop. And then presumably whoever called this in demo zig 237 should be like width here. Wow. Okay, cool. Button zig, he's pissed because our update function now needs to take in a thing that he doesn't care about. So we'll just be like pixel size. I don't give a shit. Oh, except that he does need to update the label. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So I guess when we update the label, I guess we'll just lie again because we'll be like, because we're not trying to like fit the label inside the window, we're trying to fit it inside our button, but we're being like, okay, fuck it. Like, we're just not going to let you be bigger. We'll tackle that as we need. Demo Zig 254. He's mad because this thing needs the same shit. So let's just look for every make label in here. And fix that shit. Okay, let's try that. Expected 5 arguments at drag float. Right, so our float dragger can create a widget as well. And I guess we'll just do the same, like, fucking lie here. Okay, and then our drag float also needs his update function updated. I'm sure that, like, there's a reason that we'll want to use this stuff later, but I don't care right now. Layout Zig. What was it, 91? No, it was 69. What's he about here? Cursor X is an I32 with the Z31. Why the fuck is cursor X an I32? Does it have to be? What if I just write U32 here, just out of curiosity? Or U31 even? I guess we'll write U31 here, I guess. And then here at drag float 166, we do need to do the same trick here, where we don't really give a shit about setting bounds for the label in this case. All right. So now we should see. We need to relay out the text if the widget size has changed. So in label Zig, we need our like update function. He needs to say like, or self like available size is not equal to. So we'll say like the size that we wrapped with is not equal to available size width, right? If this changes, then we set the wrap width to available size dot width, and we need to write down the wrap width then. Something like this. And then probably on initialization, we also have to be like wrap width is equal to wrap width. There we go. That should fix it so that it automatically relays out. Everywhere U32 here, we just write U31 and it comes to fix itself. Wrap width, U31, U31. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then button 74, we write U31 here as well. And drag float, we have the same problem. It's here. All right. Now when we resize, does it fix itself? Yeah, it's not very fast, but it's fixing itself. So that's kind of good. It's kind of cool. Where the fuck is that debug line? It's in the label, I think. Yeah, let's get that shit out of the way. Let's see how much of the slowdown was caused by that. Most of it. Most of it was from logging. Look at that! Look at that! That's actually pretty fucking sick, dude. That's pretty sick. Okay, cool. Now let's implement some scrolling. Git commit -m wrap with stuff GUI I don't know smile. We'll come back. We'll come back to it. Okay. Scroll view, scroll view, scroll view. Did I already open this? I did. What is this thing gonna do? I guess he's going to. Basically, he's going to lie to all of the internal. Well, not lie. He's basically got to take some sort of like laid out space and adjust it based off of where we are in the scroll view, right? So like, if we lay out a widget 1, we say like widget 1 is at position 30, 30, but the scroll is at like 30. Now widget 1 is at effectively at 030, right? That's kind of what we have to do. So I assume that this is going to be very similar to the layout code, right? Where we have like a cursor. Our cursor gets like moved when we push stuff. We are going to have like a bunch of internal widgets that we will need to call update on, and will update. Update doesn't really need to take into the account any of this stuff, really. Okay, let's think about it this way. Is there anything in layout? Like, can we just make every layout a scroll view? Does that make our lives easier? It might. It might not, but it might. In that world, all we have to do is basically change our render functions and I guess our input functions. Our input functions are going to pass in like a global input state where he has his like mouse position passed in. This will need to be adjusted. I guess we will like just modify the input state here and modify the render function here so that the bounds are adjusted. And then I guess like worst case, if we don't want scrolling, we can just turn it off. But I think very likely almost every single layout we're going to want it. So fuck it. We might as well just do it in the existing layout. Fuck it. So let's just do this for now. Scroll position is going to be some sort of like pixel position. So it's going to be an I32s. We'll only scroll in Y for now, because fuck it. And then what? Then this stuff stays the same. Available size, I guess, for now. Fix me what if we don't want to scroll, etc., right? But for now, we'll just do this. Here on our input state, we're going to modify this. So we're going to say like const adjusted input state is equal to input state. And like, basically we need to change these guys. So if input state mouse down pause, we need to do like pause.x minus equals pause.y minus equals self dot scroll position y. This would be like float from int, I guess. Okay. And we have like adjusted input state dot mouse pause dot y minus equals float from int. Yeah, hell yeah. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. And then on render, we just do the same shit. So what's going on here? We tell him where we are in the window and the window size. Sure. So we just lie about the item bounds. We say like item bounds dot y minus equals self current scroll position y. We say adjusted item bounds equal to item bounds. Boom. Adjusted item bounds dot y minus equals this, and we pass in the adjusted bounds. That like might work. It might work. So first of all, let's just build and just see what fucking happens. Fuck. Mouse down location. Okay. No Y and pixel B box. Sure. So this is gonna be top and bottom, I guess. Okay. Sure. Nothing's like hella broken yet. Now let's try actually scrolling down. So how are we gonna do that? Maybe we will say that I wonder if it's like input state. We can be like last scroll. Yeah, so we can be like last scroll here is equal to 0. Then we'll like accumulate scroll per frame. Yeah, so we'll say like, I think that we have scroll in here. Amount is, we'll just be like self last scroll plus equals amount. And this should probably be called something else, like a reset frame or something, like start frame. There's probably a better name for this. And then this can be called like frame scroll or something. Okay, so in our scroll view, here we'll just be like, dispatch input here. We'll just adjust ourselves like input state dot frame scroll. And this is going to be like int from float, and I guess we'll just clamp this thing. So we'll say like if it's going to be like the maximum of 0 in the self scroll position. We don't want to go below 0. No input state update. Love it when the rename doesn't work. Oh, it's just I didn't save. Fuck off. Okay. So, okay. Whoa, hold on. Okay, the input position here is definitely not working. So at the top, we're definitely short. Okay, first of all, let's multiply this value a little bit. It's too slow. Too slow. It's also in the wrong direction. So we'll just do a little minus equals here instead. Okay, okay. It's still too slow, but whatever, we'll figure that out later. Okay, so what's going on here? So if I scroll down, it looks like it's just not adjusting for the mouse position at all. Is it because when I call set input state, I just didn't use the adjusted input state? That would do it. That would do it. Still not working? Is it? It's going the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I mean, if it's the wrong way, it's the wrong way. Should I think about why? No. Fuck it. Yeah, okay. Seems reasonable. Like, shockingly reasonable, to be honest. I would have expected worse. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Okay, let's add a scroll bar. Let's add a scroll bar. Okay. So what's that gonna look like? What is that gonna look like? We have an existing, like, we have this thing already, this like float value slider. The thing that's like being drawn behind this for both the float and the button, I'm pretty sure we can just use the same fucking widget. Not the same widget, but the same like renderer for a scroll bar that goes on the side. So we probably do something that's like if the total height is larger than the window, we show the scroll bar. And if we show the scroll bar, the width of the window needs to change to like to support that. Yeah. And then we're gonna draw like a big rectangle here, or I guess like a small rectangle that probably two, right? We draw one that's like kind of like background to show the distance that is like scrollable, and then a colorful one that's like where we are, probably. I really don't like the GTK scroll bar, by the way. Like, I'm using this for reference a little bit, but I do not like it. Um, Specifically like this behavior, it's like you have to like hover in such like a pixel perfect area. It feels like kind of shit. I don't know. But the idea that you have like some sort of like gray background, and then when you hover it, it's a different color than when you click it. All of those things make sense. So we'll have like the tri-state color for the thing, for the scroll bar, or like the drag handle thing. And then the size of him has to be determined by the size of the page. And the background of this thing will probably just be like gray or something. Okay. Cool. So I guess we'll be like scroll bar zig seems reasonable. This thing will own a scroll bar. I wonder if this thing needs like to be an abstracted widget. That might be nice in the future, but for now, no pre-optimization. No pre-optimization. So this is gonna be like GUI scroll bar something, probably. It's kind of my guess. Scroll bars, import scroll bar zig like that. Okay, and then in scroll bar zig, we need a pub const scroll bar. Okay, cool. So this scroll bar, not label, layout here. For now we can do this, and does everything build? It sure does, so we're chilling. Okay, so what are we gonna have to do here? What are we gonna have to do? Surely this thing's gonna use our Squircle renderer. So that's like this. I think is what I called it. Yep. And what does this thing have? He just kind of has like a program and buffer. Is this thing shared between all instances? It probably is because we just kind of like adjust the transform of that thing. Sure. So here he's gonna have like a renderer is a Squircle renderer. And I guess like on render. He's going to render background. So let's start there. Let's just start by rendering the background. So he's gonna have some sort of like background color. Right? GUI is equal to import GUI zig const color is with GUI color. Go boom. Okay. He's gonna have some sort of background color. Let's just start there. We also need to render like the we need to say like where we want him to be rendered. So I guess using pixel bounds here, just like we have everywhere else, seems to make sense. Okay. Pixel B box, I guess we called it. Oh god, pixel B box. Boom. Okay. So like in the same way here, we progressing quickly. You started early today. Yeah, I've got like a thing I gotta do at like 3. So I wanted to stream though, so I was like, fuck it, we'll just do an early mainstream. Whatever. We have somewhere this like calculate. Probably like label zig is an example of this. Widget to clip transform. So we would just calculate this thing using our utility thing. And I guess here we need the window size. That's true. I guess that is what we do. And then here we just call like self renderer render with the background color. I guess we're probably gonna have to have some sort of like style structure. And he's going to probably keep all of this stuff, right? So the background color, the corner radius. Is this a float? Not sure. And sure, we'll like keep the whole style here. Fuck it. Fuck it. So we need the background color, the corner radius. What else does this thing want? He wants the widget bounds. Oh, really? Why? What does he use this for? Oh, because we need to know the size of the widget in pixels to calculate the corner radius correctly. I see. Okay. And then the transform. Sure. Blaze it. Shut up. Okay, so now all we have to do is in the label or the layout class here, we have to just be like, if So we ask the widgets to lay themselves out. But the problem is like their size will change if there's a scroll bar. And we don't know if there's a scroll bar until we've laid out the widgets. We could just double layout. Or we could base it off of the previous height. I hate super skinny scroll bars too. They need to be easy to hover and click. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So yeah, we have a couple options. Guess if we need a scroll bar based off previous need. If we do, then like try layout, I guess. And if guess was wrong, try again. I guess that is the only sane option. So here we go. If we need scroll bar, does this pass in here? I guess this is based off of like internal guess. Needs scroll. And then we need like our scroll bar width or something as well. I guess this is probably constant. For now, it's gonna be like 10. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So if we need a scroll bar, we reduce the available size. So scroll bar adjustment is equal to if self needs scroll, scroll bar size, right? Else 0, and then we just minus scroll bar adjustment here. Seems reasonable. Now we just need to figure out how to determine if we need a scroll bar. That's all we're gonna do. Which I have absolutely no idea how. I guess here we're just gonna be like, here we calculate the total height, I guess. So as we walk the cursor here, we're just like, if self cursor is greater than window size height, then we say self needs scroll is equal to true. But we first check if self needs scroll was false. I guess we say like needs scroll. Yeah, if self needs scroll is false, then we set it to true, and we basically just say like start update. I don't know. Then we just like continue at start update. Is that like syntax is allowed? Label not found. Hello. Oh, is it? Does the label need to go before? Like this? There we go. Okay, so we were saying like fuck it, just like reset. Otherwise, if we finish this thing and the cursor Y is less than the window height, if this is less than the cursor height, then and we need to scroll. We set it to false and reset again. Yeah. Okay, that seems like maybe reasonable. And we'll only lay out like, so this is the expensive case, right? Where we like laid out the whole thing and then we're like, oops. But I mean, in either case, we're only laying out as many widgets as fit on a screen. So it's actually not that bad, probably. Probably. Scroll bar is missing a field here, so this layout now needs like an actual init function, I guess. Which will turn a layout of self, I guess, more like. And what does he need to take in? He needs to like make the scroll bar. So scroll bar. What does this thing need? He needs the renderer and a style. So Squircle renderer is a Squircle renderer. Okay. Probably could be const, to be honest. So here we need to pull that shit in. Okay. Okay. So then we just like return scroll bar is fuck. I guess really the scroll bar doesn't necessarily have a lot of like state that we care about, but it's fine. We'll keep it here for now. Renderer is a squircle renderer, and style is what do we say? Background color and corner radius. Okay, background color is gonna be like, I don't know, 0.2. Fuck it. I don't know. Fix me. This should live somewhere else, and we'll put fix me here. That's like, maybe we can get away with a single scroll bar renderer for everyone all at once. At a what company I used to work at, they had this thing called Okta to log in, and their slogan was secure for everyone all at once, or something like absolutely fucking stupid. Like it made no sense. It was like, it felt like it was like barely English. And so like just a thing that's in my vocabulary now is just to say all at once, like just sometimes for no fucking reason. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, so now we need to construct the layout probably in the demo. How friendly is your GUI framework compared to something? Probably not very. It's probably not friendly at all, to be honest. It's only supposed to really be meant for me in my one specific use case, so I'm not really too worried about it. We're kind of sacrificing generalism for flexibility is kind of the play here. It's kind of the idea. Oh, what's this about? Sure, this thing needs a const. Const. Fuck. What is this? Else 0. So 0 is a comptine int, probably, is like what's happening here. And so we need to say, yo, this is going to be a, I don't know, I32? What are these? U31, U31. This will also be a U31 then. Fine. We're going to be like that. All right. So now, how do we tell? Oh, okay, so this is kind of working, right? You can see that like it's going all the way up to the edge of the window. Now we can see it's kind of backing off a little bit when it runs out of room. So that's a really good sign. That's a really good sign. So now we just have to actually fucking render the scroll bar, which I guess we just didn't do. So here, we're rendering right now just the total size. So here we have like window bounds is like left is equal to window width minus scroll bar width. Right is equal to window width. The top is equal to 0 and the bottom is equal to window height. Seems reasonable to me. Okay, and then what's the other thing this takes in? Window. Okay. I don't know why we don't have this thing as like the right format already, but fuck it for now. So left 0, it just changed to this. Sure. Okay, look at that. We got our little gutter. And then if we get big enough, he's there all the time. Right, so we actually only need to render this if there's a scroll bar. We made a mistake. If needs scroll bar. Is it need singular, not needs plural? Or what's the word for if you're like needs like this? This is not a plural of need. This is like a some form of like funny fucking I don't know. Some funny type of word that I don't know. Okay, so now we get big and it goes away, and then we get small and it comes back. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. And then I guess we are going to then need to render the put like ratio, like how far in we are, as well as the size, right? So I guess yeah, we'll say that like we'll have like this rel size as well as the distance scrolled. Scroll pause. We could do the scroll position relative to the window, but I think I kind of want to do it as like a ratio. Am I stupid or is there no sound right now? I hope there's sound. If there's no sound, that would suck. So here I just say we like the this will still be drawn, but then we also draw another thing on top of it. It's going to be like the bar bounds are going to be like the total bounds. There's sound, thank God. Okay, so how does this work? Let's use our brains a little bit. So we've got some sort of like gutter, and in here we're gonna have some sort of thing, right? Now we have to remember that the total size of this gutter has to be shrunk by half the width, right? Because this thing can only move such that the top hits the top and the bottom hits the bottom, right? You can't go past that. So then we can kind of figure out where the center is relative to this thing. So here will be like gutter height without bar. I guess that means we need the bar size first, which we have. We have the rel size. Is that what we want? We want like how big we are relative to the window, right? So how big a viewport is, which I guess we can calculate automatically actually, right? We kind of have like the bounds height as a float probably. Gutter height, we'll call this. Then we have the window height. Okay. So that means that we can figure out. Oh no, wait. The bounds is of the the bounds is not of like the window. Shit. Okay. So we need to pass in like maybe like the total scrollable height. There we go. That's what we'll do. Then we can be like total scrollable height out of the gutter height out of the window height. I think they're effectively the same, but maybe this does make a slight difference. The total scrollable height out of the it's the other way around. It's the window height out of the total scrollable height, right? This is the size of this thing, but not quite, right? Because we have to subtract a second. We have two of them. Let's think about this. So if it's like 1.0, right? If the total scrollable height is equal to the window height, we're just barely showing a scroll bar, then we want this thing to fill the fucking thing top to bottom, which means it's the same. So I guess it is just the window height out of the total scrollable height. So we'll call this like bar height, I guess, is this. Times something? Window height out of the total scrollable height times window height? Because this is going to be like 0 to 1, and we want the bar, the size relative to like maybe the bounds height, which again is effectively the same, but I think conceptually different. So maybe it's like this. I think it's like this. And this is in pixels, right? Which maybe we don't need. Maybe we only need it in relative terms. So we'll call this like the bar transform. Is going to be like the gutter transform. Then apply a scale. Okay. Const smath is going to import smath. So you have smath dot transform dot scale, and the x is 1.0, and the y is just going to be scaled by the bar height. Okay. We can try that and just see how that feels. We don't have to do anything else right now. So then we literally just like render this on top. So we're literally just doing the same shit, but with the bar transform. Okay. Then we just have to make the bar transform a different color. Bar color. Eventually we're going to have to handle like, maybe we will just bar like, yeah, we'll put the bar color here because it might be like active or inactive, and like whoever calls this is kind of in charge of that. Scroll pause is not used yet, and total scrollable height is. Okay. So here we just use the bar color. Okay. So now whoever renders this thing is going to have to pass in some sort of bar color. So can we use like global style? Is that like available to us here? Fix me get style from somewhere sane. But for now, we'll just do... Where the fuck is our global style? Here. Let's just kind of... we'll just copy paste. This needs the bar and then the total scrollable height, which is just a self. Do we calculate that? Do we store that anywhere? I guess we don't. We probably should. So like total height. Then as we push stuff, oh, it's in the cursor. It's in the cursor. So we can just do like self cursor dot y. Yeah. Float from it probably. Okay. Fuck. Bar color unused function parameter. Why? Did I not save? I did not save. Classic me. Classic. Okay. So it does seem like that bar size is changing as we shrink the window. And if we get it almost at 1.0, it does like just barely fill it before going away. So that seems like it's working as expected, which is pretty sick. Okay, so now we just have to figure out how to like offset it. So we have the bar height now, and we just say like scrollable range. Okay, so like we have the bar height here and it's centered. So we literally just have to subtract it by like okay, so if we're at position 0, we want to be at height over 2, and if we're at 1, we want to be at height minus height over 2. So we're trying to go in range of like 0 to 1 to h, we'll call this like we'll call bar height over 2 to height minus bar height over 2. So we subtract const half bar height is equal to bar height over 2. We do our thing, which is our like relative position, I guess. Which we don't have, but we can figure that out. So we'll just say like rel scroll pause normalized. Yeah, there we go. Which is 0 to 1. We say that minus half bar height brings us down, like this brings this down to 0. No. This is like scroll pause normalized times window height. Okay, hear me out. Window height minus bar height. That's like the position of the top of the bar plus half bar height. Oh, that sounds right. That sounds right. So we'll call this like the bar pause is this. And then the bar pause has to be relative to, like he's already centered. So we'll just say like minus 0.5. Yeah. Bar offs, we'll call it. Then then we do this. So translate bar offs. All right, let's see it. Fuck. We forgot something. What are we supposed to do here? We have like our position. So self scroll position Y out of the float from int window height, I guess. Fix me gross as casts. How the fuck am I supposed to read this? Prototype mode, baby. Okay, so we're seeing like nothing, which is bad. Which is bad. Stood, debug, print, bar, offset. What are we calculating here? We need to import std to be able to log stuff. Sure. Fuck. I do need to write the thing that I'm trying to write down. That's true. If I want to see it, I gotta see it. True. Negative 0.3 seems pretty sane. Oh, that does not seem sane. Did we test the scale? We did, right? If we just don't do this part, I'm pretty sure it was fine. Let's just double check. Yeah, so that's working. The scale is working as expected. So it's only this offset. So scroll pause normalized. Scroll position Y out of the window height. No, this is out of the cursor Y. Where we are out of the total position. Okay. Bar offset still very large. Why? Window height is a very big number. Everything else is in the range 0 to 1. I think. Maybe we're supposed to divide this by the window height again at the end or something. Yeah, I think it's all of this is like divided by the window height to get us into like 0 to 1 range, I think. So, yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks like what I want. So now if we just apply that transform again, like how fucking broken is it? Yeah, now the bar is just gone again, but I really don't understand why. I do not understand why, because I would have thought that just doing a translation after everything else would like put us in the right spot, you know? Oh, I am translating by 1.0 over here, which is stupid. I should be translating in x by 0. We're just kind of shooting it off to the right side of the world. Okay. It's backwards. And I think that we have some bug here, where he's not making it all the way. He's not making it all the way. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Could be that this is supposed to be minus because we're upside down. No. Okay, let's look at this again. So we have the scroll position. We have the window height minus the bar height is like the total amount of scrollable area we have. That seems reasonable to me. Seems reasonable. Right? Because, yeah, this is WH, window height. This is bar height. This is BH over 2. BH over 2. So the center of this thing can only go from like here to here. So we have to subtract the bar height to figure out the like, because that's like our effective range here. I think that makes sense. So then we... Okay, let's fix like the fact that it's upside down first. Scroll pause, normalize. We're just going to hit 1 minus this to invert it. And then we'll kind of figure out the rest from there. Yeah, so we just need to go up more. So it's almost like this like half bar height thing is like not used somehow. Even that's kind of wrong. Which makes me think that like he doesn't want this minus bar height, but I don't understand why. Even that's wrong? What the fuck? Bar offset 0.5. Oh, because... bar transform is given the bounds of the gutter. Okay, here, if we do like, hold on. Let's get sanity test here. If we do transform here, where we were starting from, this should literally just fill the bar. Yeah, that is in fact filling. That is in fact filling. So why? So this bar height thing, window height over the total scrollable height, that also seems reasonable. Also seems reasonable. So this offset must just be calculated wrong. First of all, this times window height divided by window height is just doing nothing. I wonder if it's like plus bar height here. I don't know why that would be the case, but there is a missing bar height somewhere. No. And then also, we're kind of making it so that the top of the screen has to go to the bottom, which is also kind of fucking wrong. But I really want to fix this. I just don't understand. Do not understand here. So, coordinate space. Let's think about this a little bit. Coordinate space is -1 to 1. Which we are probably fucking up somewhere, right? Because everything here we're doing is like 0 to 1. So somewhere we probably just have to multiply by 2. That's probably it. Probably it. Nope. That's not it either. That's not it either. Let's think about this. We need to think. We need to use our fucking stupid brains. Okay, so this is at 0. Effectively. We want to translate up by... let's pretend this thing is like infinitesimally small. We want to translate up by 1.0. Right? That is the default. So if we have 1.0, scroll pause normalize is 0, it's literally just this. Right? So here we should end up at the very, very tippy top. Right? Except that we now need to offset half by half bar height, right? That will make it so the top lines up with the top. Right? Oh, my bad. Minus half bar height. Minus half bar height, where this is window height. Maybe this is minus half bar height times 2. Might be. Might be. Aha, okay, so now we're at the top. Cool. Now we want to make it so that this effectively brings us all the way down to the bottom. So I think right now, who knows what the fuck we're doing. It does not seem sane at all. At all. Half bar height times 2. Yeah, but that's because, like, they're different concepts. We are trying to offset by half the bar height, but in normalized, like, in, like, 2x space, which is confusing. Okay. So now we want to make it so that when this is 0, or scroll pause normalize is 1, we need this to be when this is 1, we need to be we need to move up by 1.0 minus half bar height times 2. That's where we want to be when this is 0. I wonder if it's easier to do the math in a different way. So we have scroll pause normalized tells us percentage-wise here to here. That's where what we were thinking before. So we need to make it so that when we could basically do like a lerp, I guess, from half bar height times 2 to half bar. What's like the final thing? 1.0 minus half bar height times 2. Yeah, that sounds right. And we lerp that according to 1.0 minus scroll bar normalized. That feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. So now it should be when this hits the top of the screen. It could also be, we should probably check where the total scrollable height is, to be honest. Let's log. Oh, we are logging. Let's log our scroll position. I think that we could be making bad decisions based off of the fact that this is wrong. So here, our scroll position at this point is 1.0. Okay. So we have it chilling at the top. The bottom is not right. So I don't really understand why. Let's just write 1.0 here and see. I don't think that doesn't make sense to me, but it could be. Oh. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, is this that we don't want to invert this? Because the lerp already takes care of it? No. What the fuck am I missing? At scroll position of 0, we want to be at this position. Oh, but we need to be at that position relative to 0. But we are already at... fuck off. This is negative 1.0 plus half bar height over here too. Is that correct? No, it should be positive. Should be positive. Because the... oh my god. Coordinate space is... coordinate space, is this negative 1? This is 1? In OpenGL land? Yeah, it is. It is. So here we want to be at 1.0 minus half bar height times 2. Here we want to be at negative 1.0 Jesus Christ, man. Math is so hard. Plus half bar height over times 2. That sounds right to me. There we go. We got there. Okay, so now when we're at the very top, our thing lines up at the very top, and we're at the very bottom, he lines up at the very bottom, but where we consider the very bottom is now incorrect. So when we say give our relative scroll pause here, we have to subtract the window height here. And then I think everything else just kind of lines the fuck up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. That lines up perfect. Okay, now we need to clamp the scroll position on the top side as well. wherever the fuck we set the scroll position. Which means that we need the window height here, I guess. Which means that this just like isn't dispatch input, or we need to like stash the window height somewhere. I don't know, we'll just do this for now. So what is this math here? It's just literally the cursor y minus window height. Self cursor y minus self or minus window height. You could divide the current position by 2 instead of timing the ends by 2. True. True. I agree. But it's fine. Doesn't really matter. Dispatch input now needs the window height. Okay, and then expected found usize. I don't know. We'll just say cats. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit right now. Okay, so now when I scroll all the way to the bottom, I can't scroll farther. Scroll all the way to the top, can't scroll farther. That's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Okay. I want this thing to move faster. Definitely. Text rendering looking good, by the way. You fixed Y offset of G recently. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's also like able to be rendered at way lower resolutions. Like yesterday, I did a lot of stuff where it was like there were a lot of like off by ones or off by half pixels, where it's like the grid of the pixels needs to line up perfectly with the grid of the texture atlas. And then there were a couple like mistakes in terms of like how I was calculating the bounding boxes. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. That's pretty sick. Okay, I would like to be able to click and drag on this thing, huh? Which means that the scroll bar, all of this math for like how the scroll bar is positioned and stuff, we kind of need that to be somewhere that we can like interact with, right? We can't just do it in the render function. We need to like get bar size, right? Looking at closely, do the M float up by 1 pixel? I'm curious. I don't think so. Like if we look at like this, like that's pretty aligned. It's pretty aligned as far as I can tell. Yeah, I want to grab this thing. So that means that we need to know where the bounds of this are. So we're gonna do something that's like bar pause. Bar bounds, I guess, and we want this as like a pixel bounding box. Is kind of what makes sense to me. This actually doesn't need to take in the scroll bar at all. This is all just calculated on the fly. And so that's kind of going to take in... I don't know. This stuff, I guess? Okay. Which means that all of this stuff is just, like, stupid now. We could just, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. So... we need... bounds height. Bar height is the bounds height over the total scrollable height. Yes, half bar height is probably still required, and then we probably still do this scale and lerp thing. So this is now in normalized, so this needs to be turned into pixel space. So this is like this. Then half bar height is still this. That's fine. And then we still do a lerp for the position. But the ends of this thing are just going to be half bar height to 1.0, probably the bounds height minus half bar height. I think this is what we have to do. This is the bar center. And then we return something that's like left is equal to, we need like our left and right size. I guess this is like bounds left, right is equal to bounds right, and then top is equal to bar center minus half bar height, and the bottom is this. And then that means that all of this code just is like not useful. And we should just do like bar transform comes from the bar bounds here. And we'll see if that works. Half bar height is mad because what? Who's using an I32 here? Window height F32, total scroll height F32, window height F32. Bar height, shouldn't all this be? Oh, this needs to be round and in from flow probably. Yeah. Fine. Let's see if this still renders correctly. If it does, we're chilling. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. Dude, we should have just done that from the start. This is so much easier. Maybe it was only easy because we knew how the right answer already. Okay, so now we need to make it so that, like, in layout, I guess we check if the scroll bar is active. Scroll bar state is an enum of like, well, let's not worry about like coloring right now. Let's just try to figure out if we fucking clicked it. So here we go, like scroll bar bounds, right? This thing, oh, it's on scroll bar, I guess. So we probably need to like split out some functions to calculate these things. Total height. And this is, I guess, this is just self cursor y, right? Is that right? Yeah. Then the other thing was like scroll pause normalized. And this is this shit. And then we also, I guess we'll just keep it like that for now. That's fine. That's fine for now. Then here we call total height and self scroll pause normalized like this. Which means that now when we get the bar bounds, we can just calculate this. We can call what we need to. So self total height. Scroll pause normalized. And then we need the bar bounds as well, which is this. Scroll bar bounds takes in layout as well as the window width. And the window height returns a pixel B box. Okay. I guess technically this doesn't need to take in a layout. Okay. And this needs a dot in front of it for it to be happy. Okay. So then this gets scroll bar bounds, window width and window height. And then we can use that here. Oops. Which means that this is from window size, width, I don't know, man. Window size, height. I don't know why we're using different types all over the place for this shit, but it's fine. Okay. Now, what do we do with this? If bar bounds contains mouse, if the, wait, this is the wrong function. We want this in input state. We want this in handle input. Here we go. So I guess here we'll take in like the window width. This. Window width, window height. Okay. So we need to do this before we do any like scroll shit. Sure. If the bar bounds contains, I guess if the mouse is down, input state, mouse down location. If the bar bounds contains this location, we are dragging. So we need to calculate how much to drag, right? So we say like this is the so we take like the current mouse position and we need to put the scroll there. So that's going to look very similar to this stuff, where we have to figure out basically like the inverse of this thing. Right, we're going to be like pixel pause to scroll pause. Right? And we take like the mouse position. I don't know. It's gonna be something like this. And so we have all the same shit here. Do we reuse this code? Bar height is the window height of this. Yeah, we must, right? Because we do like this lerp again. But the other way. But all of this stays the same, I think. Total scrollable height. No, we don't need that. Do we? We need to calculate the size of the bar. Do we? I guess we just need to calculate. So I grab the scroll bar like this is like the gutter. We're like at the very bottom, right? I grab the scroll bar here and I drag it all the way to the top. It means that we have to know the size of this space, and then we just calculate the length that we moved in that space, which means that we have to know the size of the bar. We can't do this without knowing the size of the bar, which means that we need the total scrollable height here. There's no way around it. Now, I think that we can just be like, we can call this pixel offs to scroll offs. We can call this. Right? So we have the bar height. We take the window height minus the bar height. And this is like scroll, like the scrollable distance. So we'll just call this like the y offs. And then we just divide y offs by scrollable distance. That feels right to me. That feels right to me. Which means that we can be like scroll bar pixel offs to this offs, and we take like the y that we started at, we take the current y position minus the start y position, and this is the new scroll position. Except for the fact that we actually don't want the start position. We want like the last frame's y position. I guess. But we can just stash. I guess we do like initial, like drag start y pause or something. I don't know, man. Drag start scroll y. Something like this. I don't know, man. If drag self drag start scroll y is equal to null, we set it. Else if we mouse down and we don't contain the mouse position, or like we just don't, like, I guess we just do this. Maybe even here too. This is awful. There's a lot of cleanup to be done here. Fix me, clean up. But I think this is kind of what we want right now. Yeah, sure. So then if we like, we want to be like relative to the initial scroll position. Scroll pause y plus equals this, maybe? I don't know, man. 187 is pissed off about window height not being here. Okay. Normalize as well. Okay. 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 Hold on. Fuck! 426 in demo. He needs to pass in the window hit width now. Fuck! Oh, this needs to be self everywhere. Because this is like a parameterized type. Okay. Lock. Pissed off. 126. He's pissed because we want like dot y here, I guess, everywhere. 3 arguments found 1 here. That's a good point. What are other arguments? He wants the y offset, the bounds, bar bounds, okay, and the total scrollable height. Okay, sure. Fuck it. Fuck. Float from float, I guess. There's a lot of casting that doesn't have to get done, but whatever. Self-cursor Y at 186 is pissed off because we need to float from in. Again, lots of casting. We'll clean that up later. I just want to get something. Let's check it. Okay. Oh. So lots to be confused about here. It's definitely not keeping the initial position correctly. Which is kind of surprising. Resetting, drag, start. Let's just see how that's going. Fuck. Okay, that's not helpful. If this, else if self drag start dot y is not equal to null. Okay, that should help this a little bit. So it's not coming from there. It's not coming from there. Is it coming from here? No, this isn't getting logged. So then in that case, oh, drag start set. Maybe I was wrong about when this is getting triggered. Yeah, so we are only setting drag start once. It's just really slow getting there. Why? Oh, this is normalized, huh? Yeah. So we want like y offset out of scrollable distance times total scrollable height. Think that's what we want? Does not seem like it. Does not seem like it. Because the total scrollable height is in pixels. This y offset is also in pixels, but it's in different pixels. So y offset over the scrollable distance in the bar seems reasonable. Oh, this should just be equals, right? No, this is the pixel scroll offset. So we say, how far are we out of the total height? Oh, because we need the drag start scroll Y. Oh, yeah. So we say like self drag start scroll Y plus this, which makes me think that we're doing something stupid. But it's fine for now. This would be, oh, this is just already the unit I want. So this is kind of more like this. And then this should be in from float here. Okay, let's try that. So we like have some offset from the initial position. We just assign that every frame. Something there doesn't sound right either. He's also resetting drag start a lot. Which I don't really want, so I just won't do that. Okay. Now, like, why isn't he moving here? He moves for a little bit and then just, like, fucking stops? Like, what the fuck? Am I stupid? Dragging, I guess we'll just say here. I just want to see, like, does that stop as well? It does. Why does that stop? That's fucking weird. Is it here? Oh, because I guess the bar is moving. Yeah, so the bar is moving, which means that we can't check if we contain the mouse position given the current bar bounds. We want to check if the drag start is set at all, I guess. So if this is null, and we contain this thing, we set the drag start. Otherwise, here we just check like if self drag start scroll y, start y, like this, and then we don't have to do this anymore. That seems reasonable. Right? So we say like, okay, if we at some point started a click in the bar and we weren't dragging already, seems kind of reasonable. Okay, so now it's working. Now, obviously, we're just moving too far now. But now we're getting somewhere where at the very least, it's like, if I come back to the same spot, it like always goes back to the same scroll. So now we just have to figure out why the fucking math is wrong, which is way easier. Like, we can deal with that. Window height. We have the bounds height. Window height over the total scrollable height. Okay. Makes sense. Why do I multiply this by window height again? Because this is a 0 to 1 thing, and I want it in pixels. Okay, sure. Then I'm like, okay, I have my window height minus the bar height. Window height minus bar height is the scrollable distance. That also makes sense to me. Y offset out of the scrollable distance? Does this make sense? So this tells me percentage-wise how much to scroll by? No. Yes? If I had a scrollable height of this far and my Y offset was this, then I would want to advance by the total scrollable height. I think that makes sense. Pretty sure. Something about all of this feels wrong, but I can't really find, I can't catch it. So can we do like a test of this thing? What do I expect to happen here? Pixel offs calc. So if, like, I give him some bounds, I say, okay, I'm going to scroll 100 pixels. And the bounds of my bounding box, or the bounds of the scroll bar widget, we'll just say the left and right don't matter. Okay, the top we'll say is 0, and the bottom we'll say is 200. Okay, seems reasonable. Seems reasonable indeed. Okay, so we'll say that we have a height of 200, and the total scrollable height is 400. Okay, so in this case, we should have a bar that is half the height of the entire window, and we have, so that means our bar height, so it's half the height of the window, so our window is 200 pixels, our bar height should be half that, so 100, so if we move 100, we should move 1.0. I'm pretty sure that's what I expect. So usually like const offs is this, and we should stud testing expect almost or equal, approximately equal, yeah, here we go, of expected value is 1.0, offs is the value we got, and we want it like within like, I don't know, 1e -7 or something. I don't know if this is gonna get hit. So let's just like zig build test here and just see if that's actually like the tree of stuff that's tested hits this. It doesn't. Okay. Zig test source GUI. GUI zig. Okay. And then we'll just have to make it so that GUI zig does like tests of stood testing ref all decals recursive of this. Okay. This will be our entry point for the GUI tests. Fuck. So now we need to have our GUI UTs, I guess. We'll do it this way. Okay. GUI UTs come from source GUI zig, GUI test. And then we run that shit. Oh, we already did, my bad. Test step already exists. This is run the GUI UTs. Okay, and we will run them here. Okay, zig build test, zig build test. We should see a failure. We should see a failure. Fail me, baby. No module names friender, no module name text. Really? Why the fuck not? Oh, because I didn't run GUI UTs here. I need to add the app dependencies to the GUI unit test, not just the app unit tests, I guess. Failure? Let's go! Okay. So if I take out this expect false now, we still fail. So that's good. That means that lines up with my understanding. So now we have to figure out why. He's saying 400. He's giving back 400 because he is... Oh, wait. Maybe that's right. I am expecting a total scrollable height change. Yeah, that is what I expect, huh? So then why, if that's doing what I expect, then why the fuck is this not doing what I expect? Bar height calculation seems weird. You're dividing by height, then multiplying by height again. I think I'm multiplying by height twice, actually. It's actually height squared here, and then a lerp. Then there's no division by height, I don't think. I do agree that it seems weird, but this is giving me what I expect, right? Where given a 100 pixel movement in a window of 200 pixels where the bar takes up half, then a 100 pixel movement should give me a 400 pixel change. It's not right. Look at how the mouse moves. Obviously, it's not fucking right? But I think that this function is calculating what I expect it to. That's all I'm trying to say. Obviously, it's moving too much, right? But I don't think this is where the bug is. So let's see. Here we are saying set my scroll position to the start position where our drag started, which was, whoa. This is fucking stupid. This should be the self scroll position where we started. That's what we expect this to be? Aha, aha. Okay, so we have the start drag scroll. This is confusing. Start drag scroll Y. There are two positions that we need to track here. We need to track where we first clicked, which is tracked here by the mouse down location. So this needs to be the start scroll position. Nice. And then here we take the start scroll position and then we add in this minus lock Y here. But lock Y, yeah, I think that's right. Where lock Y is like where the mouse went down. What's he pissed about here? Oh, I see. Float from in, I guess. That's still not doing what I expect. Why the fuck not? Is it depend on where the thing was? No. What have I done here? So the scroll position Y. This is where relative to the total scrollable area we are. We stash that shit here, and we say, okay, our final position is going to be the offset from the mouse Y from where we clicked the mouse. Okay. We say, given where the bar is, and or the size of the bar, I guess, is kind of all we're using here, as well as the total scrollable area. I wonder. Okay, let's log this value as well as its inputs, because maybe we'll do it here. Maybe we'll do it here. Const ret is equal to this. Return right here. And we'll say std debug print offset is this given mouse movement of this and bounds of this total scrollable height. I guess we'll log everything. Fuck it. Okay, this should clear something up. So ret y offs bounds and total scrollable height. Let's just see what that says. We'll see what it says. Okay, so given a mouse movement of 12 pixels and a total scrollable area of okay, so this is we're saying that given a mouse movement of 12, we want to move 89 out of 1204 pixels. I don't like showing this pixel bounding box here. That's too confusing. So can we say window height here? And bar height? Maybe we log scrollable distance here. Okay, so these ratios should be pretty much equivalent, right? So if I move 14 pixels out of the scrollable distance of 30, then we should be seeing approximately a scroll offset of half the total scrollable height, which is like not what we're seeing. Why the fuck not? Because the bar is really big? No, that shouldn't matter. Am I logging the right stuff here? No, I'm just fucking lying, piece of shit. So this is scrollable distance here, and this is the bar height. That makes way more sense. Okay. That makes more sense. Run it. Okay. So, what the fuck? Okay, so given a mouse movement of 97 and a scrollable distance of 162, we should be moving like just over half of the total scrollable height, which is what we're getting, which makes me think that this mouse movement is either not what I expect, or we're calculating the scrollable distance wrong. Those are a couple options. So let's trust. Okay, let's scrollable distance 160, bar height 30. So does that line up? I don't think so. That bar height looks higher than 30 pixels to me, but we can take a look. So this is at like 190. and this is at 480. Yeah, so it seems like the bar height calculation is just like totally fucked. Window height over total scrollable height times window height. Why? Why? So here we're doing the same calculation. Total scrollable height here. Am I stupid? Bar height is the window height out of the total scrollable height, sure. So here we are not logging the window height anymore, but I would like to log that because it seems wrong. Window height. Like this, okay. So the bar height here, window height, 192. Total scrollable height, 1204. Are these pixels just like in fucked up units? Like, surely the window is bigger than 192. Right? Right? Surely. Yeah. So where the fuck is my window height coming from? Bounds. Bounds are coming in as the bar bounds. I'm a fucking dumbass. I'm a fucking dumbass. This is supposed to be the window size. God damn it. So the scroll bar bounds. Oh, that's so confusing. That's so confusing. That's really bad. Okay. So here we'll say fix me scroll bar bounds and bar bounds are heavily different concepts, but sound very similar. It's really bad. What's he pissed about now? No field or function member named scrollbar bounds? Why the fuck not? Oh, because it's not self. Fine. You're gonna fucking be like that. Okay, that's a lot better. It still looks like it's moving too far. But that's a lot more sane. So if I go from here to here, it might be taking the bar height instead of like the inverse, like the negative bar height. Scrollable distance is the window height minus the bar height. That sounds right to me. Sounds right to me. Y offset out of the scrollable distance times the total scroll. Where scrollable distance should be like the remaining space in the gutter. So can we actually just let's just like fucking check, like sanity check these things. So we have scrollable distance 288, bar height 191. Okay, so it's just like bar height 191 lines up. Total height is approximately 476. So 480, I guess, minus 191, 288. So the scrollable distance also seems right. This seems like a fair thing. Bar height is viewport / scrollable. I think so. So then my mouse movement out of the scrollable distance seems reasonable. So here, my mouse movement is 39 out of 288 is approximately this times the total. So the offset that we're getting is also seems pretty sane to me. Which makes me think that like either total scrollable height or the Y offset is wrong. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. So if we have like this, our total scrollable height is so that the top of the screen lines up with here and the bottom of the screen lines up with here, right? So we have like total scrollable height is kind of like this whole distance minus like the viewport distance. And then theoretically the bar height should kind of line up with this ratio. Okay. So is there something about the fact that it's like not bottom to bottom and top to top anymore? Doesn't sound right to me. Yeah, I mean the idea that the total scrollable offset, the total distance here. Okay, what if let's just fucking drag this thing from like the very tippity top to the very bottom, right? So we go like here to here. What does it think happened? It thinks that my mouse movement was 182 out of the scrollable distance of 288. Yet my offset, oh wait, the offset here is actually reasonable. I'm seeing an offset of 800 pixels despite the fact that this thing is showing at the bottom. And I bet what's happening here is that our scroll position in viewport space is like just where the top of the screen is. But this scrollable offset, there's something odd going on here. Total scrollable height here being 1200 seems wrong. That's what feels wrong looking at this. Because we need to subtract the window height. I'm pretty sure. Which seems kind of fucking wrong. Like, okay, that's wrong too. Hold on. Let's grab from the very top, going to the very bottom. Now these things line up the way I would expect. But my offset is just like way large. My mouse offset is way more than 700 pixels. Because I'm pretty sure the window is actually, or way less than 700 pixels. And I'm pretty sure this here, so from, let's kind of grab from the top of the window here. So 700 is like here, and this all the way down here is like 1,000. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. Let's bring this up into the right spot. Okay, here we go. 0, 470. How is the height of this 470? Am I fucking stupid? Window height 480. Oh, wait, yeah, that makes sense. So my mouse offset being anything higher than 480 is insane. That's batshit crazy. Yeah, what the fuck? What are these? What the fuck are these values? Mouse pause is here. And the start mouse pause is here. What are these things? When you grab a screenshot, it has XY coordinates. Is that non-pixels? I would think so. Yeah, but I don't really understand why, like, everything should be in pixels. All of these units are supposed to be pixels, right? So, like, mouse pause 6 down to mouse pause here of, like, 160. Start mouse pause. So, wait, whoa, what the fuck? Why is my mouse offset here? Am I fucking stupid? Offs. Oh, offs is what I'm returning. Oh, I'm a dumbass. Output, scroll offs. My bad. That makes total sense. Y offs is this. Okay, let's. That makes way more sense. Okay. So I go, whoop. Here, I moved 150 pixels out of the window height 480. More importantly, out of the scrollable distance of 160. Oh, so the scrollable distance calculation is just wrong. It has to be. It has to be. Why are you putting it into paint? To figure out the, where the pixels are? I don't know, man. So here we have bar height of. Oh, the bar height calculation is wrong now. Oh, I see. Because we changed this. So bar height needs to come from. There's like two things to keep track of here that we're not. There's the idea of bar height is calculated from the total scrollable distance, top to bottom, including, like, not including the window height. Then somewhere we need to subtract the window height from that to get like a normalized scroll position. And that's where we're fucking up. So this has to come in as total height. Like this. And then we subtracted the window height because that's here. Scroll pix to norm is like total scrollable height minus bound like window height or something. It's something like this. It's something like this. It's on screen when you grab a screenshot. I don't see it, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. Like, shut the like, who fucking cares, dude? Like, who cares? Okay. So now let's see if these things are all calculated correctly. Okay. So we have the bar height goes down to around 200. So this is calculated wrong. Scrollable distance. Whoa, hold on. How is that possible? Let's make sure that I got all these. So Y offs ret. Oh, I'm just like fucking brain dead, dude. Mouse movement. I already had mouse movement in here. Why am I logging that shit twice? So this is the scroll offset, the Y offset, the scrollable distance, window height, bar height, total scrollable height. Okay. And when I look at this now, why is the bar height 318 of my 480? Yeah, that's just totally fucking wrong. The fuck? Am I fucking mental? What am I passing in here? Scrollbar bounds. Takes the window height from top to bottom. Okay. Okay. Bar height, we're taking the total scrollable height, which is just the cursor position Y. Yes. How do we calculate the bar height in here? It's the same shit, right? We take the window height as the bounds of the scroll bar. Bar height is This times that. Yeah, okay. I'm confused about how this can be wrong, to be honest. I mean, so we have this total scrollable height at 700, window height 480. So it makes sense for this bar height to be 318. Am I fucking mental? Bounds, scroll pause normalize, scroll total scrollable height. Total scrollable height on render, is it the same shit? Total height, we use it here? Yeah, so we just use total height and scroll bar bounds on both. Huh. Dude, I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind. So the window height, correct, 480. Great. Let's just double check in paint. We should scroll down to the bottom of this thing. It should be like around 480. Yep, pretty close. Then the bottom of the scroll bar is 180. So when we render, it's like 180, but when we calculate it there, it's not? Why the fuck is that different? I mean, we don't even really need to recalculate it. We could just reuse this calculation. Let's make sure that if I click in the bar, yeah, so it knows we definitely are correctly identifying when we are clicking in the bar and when we're not, which means that this calculation is definitely doing the right thing. Totally makes sense. So how are these calculating anything different? Like if I calculate here, std debug print. Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, this should be the same. Yeah, so if we log this, bar height is this. In this case, yeah, the fact that I'm calculating 191 and then immediately after calculating 318 means I'm doing something like fucking brain dead stupid. I just can't. It's like layout. It just must be what I'm passing in here, right? Because we're literally using the same fucking parameters. We're using the bounds, calc height, total scrollable height. We're using bounds, calc height, total scrollable height. It's like exactly the fucking same, like back to back in the same fucking function, right? We're literally doing it right here. Did I get the fucking order of arguments wrong? Total height is the last thing. No, scroll bar bounds here. And then in the other one, we did bounds and total scrollable height here. Dude, I'm fucking losing my mind. It's the same fucking code. Like literally right next to each other. Surely this doesn't change. Cursor Y should not fucking move. Scroll bar bounds should not fucking change. Window width, window height. Am I using... Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. Can we... Window height here, like, which one of these numbers is different? Window height, and then the bar height, window height. It's total scrollable height. Like, one of these numbers has to be different, or I'm an idiot. Fuck! This needs a D. Okay. Run it. Window height the same. Total scrollable height is not the same. Did I not? Oh my god, I didn't save. Guys, I didn't fucking save. I never saved. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Oh my god, I just didn't save. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Okay, now this is working exactly as I intended. It's just, I don't know how much time I just spent debugging because I didn't hit the fucking save button. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm late for a thing I have to get to. But look at that. That's some progress today, guys. That's some fucking progress. We got word wrapping. Look at that fucking, oh, look at that. Right? We have scroll bar. We can click it. We can scroll with the fucking scroll wheel. And that's pretty fucking sick. That is pretty sick. I don't know how much time I just wasted from being like a fucking idiot there. That's so frustrating, but it is what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching me just like fucking yell at 3 numbers for an hour. But, if you like what you saw, we stream most days at around 12:30 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It is 2:40 o'clock Pacific time now. It's a little bit odd for today, but that's the typical schedule. So if you're online now, you expect to see us between 2 hours ago and 1.5 hours from now would be the typical online time. If you're watching on Twitch and you haven't seen the YouTube, there's a YouTube link in the Twitch description where you can see all of our projects broken down into playlists. We're working on a GUI framework from scratch now as part of our image editor. But there's a lot of other cool stuff here if you want to check it out. I think that's all the plugging I feel like doing. So let's go to Twitch and find someone to raid. YouTube, peace out.